Good Tuesday morning. Hope you're having a wonderful start to yet another beautiful day that the Lord has blessed us with. It's November 12th, and Lord willing, a month from now will be my birthday. That's why I love the cold weather. I love any type of weather, any climate, any season. And all I have to say is just make sure that you have your gloves, hat, and scarf. All right. 2 Chronicles 35. Preparing for worship, preparing our vessel, our sanctuary, which is our body. In verse 3, it says, put the holy ark in the house which Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, did build. It shall not be a burden upon your shoulders. The Lord wants us to put everything, all obligations, on our to-do list, everything that he has put on our heart, we're going to put it right back on him because he knows what he wants us to accomplish today. And it says, remember when they had the ark, the holy ark, they would carry it on the shoulders? No, it says, it shall not be a burden upon your shoulders. You know, that's funny. That's usually the first place where people have some sign of stress in their lower and their neck area and their shoulders. Well, we know that we are to lay it right back at his feet. We just pray, say, Lord, thy will be done. And talking about the neck and shoulders, we're praying for that young man, that rapper. I was reading how he was shot either in the, I read neck area, but then some other people said in the head area. Just know that this is ridiculous as far as the violence in Chicago, and then the assault rifles and these war weapons. No. That is not God's will for any of his children to be in war over this foolishness. But God will make a way for us to be the light out here in severe darkness. And the last part of that verse says, once you put the holy ark in the house, and we are to recognize that it's not to be a burden on our shoulders. We are to serve. Go and serve now the Lord your God. Go and serve now what the Lord would have you to do today. And later on in this chapter, it talks about how, and I made the comparison of King Josiah to Martin Luther King. And I was like, remember when it said that Josiah did great things? He prepared his heart for the Lord at the age of 16. You know, when he was, they didn't have high school back then. But I was like, Martin Luther King, he graduated from high school at 15. Yeah, he was a genius. And his father and his grandfather, just like the lineage of Josiah. So let's just honor the Lord with the time that we have and put everything in his hands and serve the Lord. Tragically, just like Martin Luther King, Josiah was shot. Not with a gun, talking about these weapons out here, but in verse 23, Sorry about that. He was shot by the archers. Yeah. And he was severely wounded, and he was taken away. Only 39, just like Martin Luther King. Let's do the work that the Lord would have us to do for such a time as this. Psalms 42, because today is November 12th. 30 chapters after that would be Psalms 42. As a deer panteth for and after the water brook, so panteth my soul after thee. Panteth means longing. It's a hunger. I was talking to someone yesterday in the family. I said a lot of times we eat, but it's not stomach hunger. It's usually soul hunger. And if anything, that's an indication, you know, when we're bored, when we're lonely, when we're depressed, and we pick up that chicken wing, right? And then before you know it, we put on 100 pounds. Our soul panteth after God, for the living God. And he is the one who can replenish. He can fill those voids when we feel bad out here. And depression, right? It asks the question in verse 5, the psalmist asks, why art thou cast down? Why So are you disquieted within me? And he gives the remedy. Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him, who is the what? He is the help. He is our assistance. And later on in verse 11, it says, he is our health of our countenance. And the Lord promises throughout the day in verse 8 that he will command his loving kindness, his mercy in the daytime, in the morning, and in the night, his song shall be with us. And my prayer unto the God of my life. I know that is our prayer today as we serve the Lord with gladness, but know that he's met all of our needs, and we can do great things as we abide in him with the time that he has given. All right, let's go back. And I better get some salt for these sidewalks so people can walk to work, to the train. I hope you have a wonderful day in the Lord, serving him with gladness, and put all those burdens at his feet.